What's going on? It's Big A the Mank Geek. It's my pull list. It's Wednesday, new comics day. So it's time to go through as to what I got this week. First off, I want to say I hope everyone has seen Stranger Things 2. I myself thought it was wicked. I really enjoyed it, and I also hope everyone had a really good Halloween as well. But anyway, let's get right into these comics. So first up, I've got the brand new Marvel Legacy Captain America, Home of the Brave Part 1 by Mark Waid. And you know what? I'm going to be brutally honest. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Uh, I was quite surprised because obviously Mark Waid's demeanor online isn't the same as to how he writes comics. But what we get is Captain America being heroic, like completely heroic. He's brave, he's courageous, he's humble, he's helping people out. It's like classic Steve Rogers. I mean, the only thing is that this Steve, he really isn't Steve. And it feels like Marvel don't want us to remember the fact that this Steve isn't Steve, because in the opening of the book, on this page here, they actually say the original Captain America returned in time to stop him. They're talking about obviously Hydra Cap, but that's not true. As anyone who reads Secret Empire knows, that this is not the real Steve Rogers. The real Steve Rogers was turned into Hydra Cap. So it's almost as if Marvel themselves haven't read Secret Empire or want to deny some of the events that happened. But anyway, like I said, you got him being courageous here. And what happens is this takes place in the past. We then skip to like 10 years later and see Steve returning. And it turns out that because of this event that took place in this town, they actually have like sorry, here it is, like a festival, a Captain America festival. And essentially what happens is everyone at the festival gets a chance to speak and kind of tell the crowd as to like what Captain America means to them and as to their experiences of meeting Cap, because a lot of these people have met Cap, and people come from all around to actually tell their stories. And yeah, the comic was going pretty good. And then one bit happened where this guy here says, well, I say obsessing, but he just makes it clear that, Captain America punches Nazis. But he looks like the kind of guy who goes on about that kind of stuff online. But then he gets shoved by a white supremacist. So it's just like, wait, what? What is? I don't know whether this was on purpose or whatever, but he just looks like that kind of guy online who says that. Now, me personally, when it comes to political violence, I'm not about that. I'm always about using words to bring down people's ideas, because that's always better, to be honest. Because if people are talking nonsense, you'll be able to debunk that nonsense easily. But anyway, yeah, we get Captain America again being heroic, and pretty much the story is a simple one. It's a simple setup. Essentially, this group here, they're a whole load of kind of like white supremacists, and this kind of reminds me of a Daredevil Mark Waid story from a few years back, whereby I did a similar thing. I hope it's not kind of the same story, kind of reworked, because I've already seen him tackle that story, and from what I remember of it, it was pretty decent. It was done pretty well, and it was done in kind of like the Daredevil mold as well, because it was a Daredevil story. So everything kind of worked out and made sense. But we get full on Cap being Cap, which is really nice. Like he's literally has all of the ideals you'd expect him to have, and the story actually ends pretty well. I'm just hope it continues to have this feel, because he's back now, and I think this is kind of like the best thing to come out of Marvel Legacy, because now people have. He's not. I know he's not the real Steve, but he actually really is back. So people should be pleased about that. And there's some stuff at the end that you'll read that's like, okay, he's 100% back, but he's not back. But the ideals of what it means to be Captain America and how he influences others, they're back. I mean, I'm not even American, and I was I was proud of this comic. I thought they did a pretty good job. So yeah, I'd definitely say it's easily the best thing at Marvel Legacy. If you disagree, obviously let me know in the comments and let me know as to what you think. Next up, we've got Black Lightning. Now, originally I wasn't even thinking of getting this. Like I saw the ad for it. I say ad, it was more a YouTube video on the DC Comics channel on YouTube. And I thought, yeah, this looks kind of just like Falcon. Like, it looks exactly like the Falcon book, but it's not. I actually enjoyed it way more than Falcon. So, like, literally, it's kind of got like a gang violence thing in there, similar to Falcon, but I think these gangs are kind of A, multiracial, and B, they actually have kind of comic book, high tech, sci fi weapons rather than it being about straight real life gun crime, which, that fantastical element can make you kind of enjoy things more. And, a lot of this book, you've got Black Lightning being like a hero and doing heroic things and getting into situations. I mean, the cops aren't big fans of him, but yeah, overall it's pretty good. I thought it was an all right start. I thought it was pretty interesting. Like this cop here, he like tells him to put his hands up. Well, actually here he says freeze mother f, but although a lot of that is bleeped out. But uh, but yeah, I didn't think it was too cheesy, especially with the cops thing. I mean, they do later on they do a kind of like hands up, don't shoot. Oh, this is like the greatest panel I think that I've ever seen in a comic. Like the villain, who's Tobias Whale, he throws a model of his ship at his sister's head, and I'm pretty sure it kills her, which is insane. But I love that how it's just like, whoosh. But yeah, overall, I'd say this comic is pretty good. I'd seriously suggest picking up the first issue, and the way it ends, it kind of sets up a kind of man on the run kind of story, and I thought, yeah, it was pretty good. The art's pretty good, the writing's pretty decent. Again, minor issues. The police stuff luckily, it isn't too cheesy, or at least didn't come across too cheesy to me. But yeah, all kind of made sense, and it was like, yeah, this is decently nice and a pretty good read. Then we had Batman White Knight, which, you know what, to be honest, like, I enjoy the concept more than I actually enjoy the writing of the piece itself. It's I don't know how to put it. Like, in a nice kind of way, it's like some things are mishandled. They're a bit kind of, I can only describe it as flubbed. Like, I get what they're trying to say about certain things and all this kind of business, but when it starts talking about kind of like people from like poorer backgrounds and minorities and stuff like that, I'm just kind of like, what are you talking about? No one in their right mind, even though he's reformed, would side with the Joker. And like the stuff going on in poorer communities, it's all socio-economic. The reason for that stuff happening, a lot of it. So yeah, I don't know if it really has the finesse or the intelligence to kind of handle those things, but they are dropped in here and there. But again, I really like the concept. That's why I'm sticking with it, and I do think most of the writing is all right. So yeah, Batman White Knight. It was pretty good. Also, there's an interesting thing with Harley, which at first I was like, huh? And then later on, they say something, and I'm like, you're joking. You're absolutely joking. That's insane. But you'll see when you read it. But yeah, Batman White Knight, still liking it. I'm still gonna get the whole run anyway. So yeah, another 6 issues of that to go. And yeah, I actually got some more stuff here. So we got Dark Knight's Batman the Devastator, which I haven't had a chance to read yet. Hopefully I'm going to read that soon. We've also got Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man. Man, a big problem with Miles is that like he has no rogues gallery of his own at all. Like I think they started to kind of give him one in the Ultimate Universe, but then once he got folded into 616, it was just like he has none of his own villains. He just inherited Spider-Man villains. I mean, I kind of feel bad for the kid, you know what I mean? I just wish they'd spent like the last, how many years? It's been 6 years. I'm sure in that time they could have given him kind of like his own kind of like villain to go up against, but no. I've also got Guardians of the Galaxy, which nobody apart from myself and probably 3 other people read, and apparently they joined the Nova Corps in this one, so hopefully that'll be pretty good. And lastly, Nightwing. Again, I still don't care about Raptor. I don't give a damn. Like, I don't care. Like, as villains go, he's kind of... It's kind of a bit try-hard. But, you know, I'm sticking with it because, I don't know, I'm a mug or something. So yeah, so we've got Nightwing, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, Dark Knight's Batman, The Devastator, Dark Knight's Metal tie-in, Batman White Knight, Black Lightning, and Captain America. Let me know as to whether you got any of these comics this week. Let me know what you thought about them. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and as always, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.